Hey, welcome. We're about to tackle a really important topic, the Medicare Part D penalty. It's something a lot of people don't fully get, and it can become a permanent, lifelong fee. So let's just dive in and break down what it is, and more importantly, how you can avoid it.
Just think about that for a second. A gap of just a couple of months, that's it, in your prescription drug coverage could literally cost you money every single month for the rest of your life. Now, yeah, that sounds pretty alarming, I know, but understanding the rules is your first and best defense to make sure this never happens to you.
So what is this thing officially? It's called the Part D Late Enrollment Penalty, or LEP. And the most important word on this slide is permanent. Seriously, this is not some one-time fine you just pay and forget about. Nope. It's an extra amount that gets tacked onto your monthly drug plan premium for as long as you have that coverage. Okay, I know this is all starting to sound a little stressful, so I really want you to hear this. This is a direct quote from our source material. Take a breath, this is fixable. Whether you're trying to head off a penalty before it starts, or you've already gotten a notice saying you owe it, there are clear ways to solve this. And that's exactly what we're going to walk through right now.
First up, we need to understand the trigger. What kicks this whole process off? Well, it's a very specific rule, and it all comes down to just one number.
And here it is, 63. 63 consecutive days. That's the number you got to burn into your brain. If you go 63 days in a row or more without what's called creditable drug coverage after you're eligible for Medicare, that's when the penalty clock can start ticking.
So let's look at how this timeline actually works. The day your old coverage ends, that's day one. Now, Medicare gives you a little bit of a grace period, 62 days to be exact. But if you hit day 63 and you still don't have new creditable coverage, boom. That's when the system flags a gap and they start counting all the full months you went without coverage to figure out what your penalty will be.
So, this idea of creditable coverage is obviously super important. All it means is drug coverage that's considered at least as good as what Medicare offers. Think of things like most plans from an employer, the VA, or TRICARE. But here's a massive warning. Please listen to this. Do not just assume that your COBRA medical coverage includes creditable drug coverage. It often doesn't. You absolutely have to get that in writing.
Okay, so what if you do end up with a gap? How do they actually calculate this penalty? It might sound complicated, but I promise it's just a simple formula. Let's break it down right now.
Here we go, step by step. First, they count up the number of full months you didn't have coverage. For every single one of those months, the penalty is 1% of something called the National Base Premium. Now that number changes a little bit every year, but for 2025, that base is $36.78. You just multiply it all out and round it to the nearest 10 cents.
Let's make this real with an example. Let's say you had a gap of 14 full months. Okay, so that's 14%. You multiply 14% by that base premium, that $36.78, and you get $5.15. Round it to the nearest dime, and that's a $5.10 penalty added to your premium every single month for life.
And this is where it really hits home. Look at how these small amounts just keep growing. A year-long gap, that's $4.40 a month. But a 3-year gap, you're looking at over $13 a month. Think about that over 10, 20 years. It really, really adds up. All from a gap that might have happened years and years ago.
I absolutely love this little story from the source material. It just shows you that this whole thing doesn't have to be some kind of mystery math. The second you stop guessing and just write down the actual dates from your paperwork, all that confusion just melts away. It becomes a simple calculation.
All right, let's get to the most important part, the solutions. It's time to assemble your toolkit for handling this penalty, whether you're trying to prevent it from ever happening, fix a mistake that's already been made, or get rid of the cost completely.
So when it comes down to it, there are really two main paths you can go down. Path 1, if you think Medicare or your plan messed up, like they have the wrong dates or they forgot about your old coverage, you file what's called a reconsideration. Path 2, if the penalty is actually correct, but the cost is just too much, there's an amazing program called Extra Help that can completely erase it.
Now, if you're going down that first path, trying to fix an error, this is probably the most important thing you need to remember. Your opinion about having coverage or what you remember, that doesn't count for anything here. The appeal process is all about the documents. It lives or dies on paper.
So what kind of paper are we talking about? This is what you need for your proof pack. The absolute superstar of this pack is that creditable coverage notice your old plan was legally required to send you every year.
You find that, along with letters showing your start and end dates, and that's the evidence that's going to win your case. Start digging that stuff up.
The actual process is pretty straightforward. You get your proof together, you fill out the official form, and you send it in. But, and this is a big but, look at step 3. There is a hard deadline. You have to file within 60 days of getting that penalty notice. So please, don't wait on this.
Okay, now for that other path, erasing the penalty altogether. The Extra Help Program, you might also hear it called the Low Income Subsidy, or LIS, is a total game changer. It's simple. If you qualify based on your income and resources, the Part D penalty just isn't charged. It vanishes for as long as you're in the program.
So we've walked through the problem, the math, and the solutions. Let's pull it all together now and focus on the one thing you can do today to really take control of this situation.
You really have 3 main levers of control here. Number 1, you can prevent the penalty by just making sure you enroll on time. Number 2, you can fix it by filing a timely appeal with all your proof. And number 3, you can erase it by applying for extra help if you qualify. The whole key is just knowing which lever is the right one for your situation. And that really brings us to the end. But remember, this information is only powerful if you actually use it. So my last question for you is this. Based on everything we just covered, what's the one thing you can do right now in the next 10 minutes to protect yourself? Is it digging through that old file cabinet for that creditable coverage letter? Is it setting a reminder on your phone for day 61? Or is it going online to start that application for extra help? Whatever it is, taking that one small, immediate step is how you turn this knowledge into real peace of mind.